You can read the book Lucifer Dethroned because it does go into it. But here's what is ultimately involved. There is a belief that through this sexual perversion, they can access these tunnels into alternate universes, alternate realities. And the goal of this kind of magic is to find your own universe and become the God over that universe. This buys into the modern day physics theory that there's many, many dimensions of reality. Maybe you've read about that. Alternate universes. It shows up in science fiction a lot. And then once you're the God of this universe, you can start sucking the energy out of it. And you can use that energy through this child to live forever and ever and ever. And there are men, I have met several that claim to be hundreds of years old. Now, of course, are they lying their lips off? I frankly think they are. This is a deception. Satan is deceiving these people to draw them into all kinds of profound evil. But the important point is not, does this really work? The important point is, do these people believe it? And sadly, they do. And this broad genre of magic is called, and here's a nice big word for you, Transuguthian magic. And all that means is it's magic that goes into trans-Plutonian space. Space beyond the planet Pluto, which they believe is beyond the pale of the sun and therefore beyond the pale of the Judeo-Christian God. They believe there are gods out beyond Pluto that are far more powerful and far more dangerous and far more deadly than either God or the devil. And that's what these beings, these men, are trying to access. Now, please understand me. I can't say this strongly enough. Only probably 1 or 2 out of 100 Masons is doing this. But that's more than we need. Amen? I mean, this is such a problem that we are actually, I now know of 5 national support groups that are helping people that are survivors of Masonic ritual abuse. This is that serious a problem. And let me tell you something else. The other 95, 96, 97 Masons have an even bigger problem. Because the spiritual headship over their organization trickles back down to this monster. And because of that, even if they're good men, even if they don't know about this, you know what happens? They begin to struggle, even if they're Christians, with profound temptations to move in this area of pedophilia and homosexuality. And this is dangerous stuff. I mean, this is spreading throughout the world like a plague. We have organizations like NAMBLA, the National Association of Man-Boy Love, which their slogan is sex before 8 or it's too late. And they're trying to lower the age of consent to 8 years old. And all of this can be laid at the door of this occult monstrosity. Now here's the issue. Just like, you know, we have a saying in the state where I come from. You lie down with dogs, you get up with fleas. Amen? If you're a Mason and you're in an organization with this kind of spiritual headship, this is all around you and you don't even know it. It's like a fish swimming in polluted water that's full of spiritual sewage. And you can't help but take this into yourself. And even if you're a Christian, this is going to have an impact on you. Even if you are, I mean, even in my case, and I wasn't a Christian at this time by any extent of the imagination, but it's important to understand that in all of this, that I myself, as a normal, red-blooded heterosexual, was finding myself continually drawn into sexual thoughts and sexual fantasies about little boys. I thank God I never acted on any of that. But it was being forced on me because I was under the umbrella of the Masonic leadership. And it is really a very tragic thing. But it is very real, this kind of headship. So the bottom line here is that you cannot be a part of this and be a follower of Jesus Christ. I heard another brother say it this way: you cannot at the same time be an intelligent Mason and an intelligent Christian. It's that simple. Now, people ask me, what's the big deal about all of this? And I'm going to end this with something a little bit more uplifting, because I know that probably just made the living daylights out of everybody. This is a very important symbol in Masonry and in Satanism. It's called a trapezoid. Doesn't it bother you a little? Doesn't it look unfinished somehow? That's the idea. In architecture, this is called a frustrum because it frustrates people. And this is believed by Masons who understand this stuff to be the ideal shape for manifesting demons. That's why Masonic altars are all built in a trapezoidal shape. That's why haunted houses often have roofs that are called mansard roofs. It seems to attract more demon spirits. Now here's the deal. You put this on top of this, and you've got the thing that's back on the dollar bill. But notice something. Let's go back to the original symbol. Why is this incomplete? What does that mean? Nothing in this thing is there by accident. Nothing in this symbol is there by accident. This is incomplete because the capstone is missing. What did Jesus Christ say in Matthew 21? He says, "Did you never read in the scriptures, the stone which the builders rejected, the same has become the head of the corner." Now I ask you, what is the head? What stone can be a headstone and a cornerstone at the same time? The top of a pyramid. And Jesus Christ is the capstone of this pyramid because it is an expression ultimately of the Trinity. That's why this is in the way. Satan thinks by putting his little idol here, he can keep Jesus Christ from descending to the earth and assuming his rightful place as the top of the pyramid. And there's a lot of interesting stuff here. In the next couple of verses, he says, in verse 44 of Matthew 21, he says, "Whosoever shall fall upon this stone shall be broken, but on whomsoever it shall fall, it will grind him to a powder." Now what does that mean? Well, think about it. If you have a stone that's shaped like a pyramid, if you fall on it, you're going to break like that. If it falls on you, it's going to crush you to a powder. And I submit to you that what that is an image, a biblical typology of the first and second coming. Because the first time Jesus came that we might fall on him and be saved and be broken like we talked about earlier. The second time he's coming, if you aren't a member of his body, bam, you're going to be ground into the dust. No more Mr. Nice Guy, in other words. And that's what this symbol is, and that's why Satan is so desperate to keep this as his symbol, is because he does not want this pyramid completed. But we know that no matter what Satan does, it is going to be completed, because nothing can stay the hand of God. And that second advent, I believe, is very, very, very close. And on that note, I'm going to bring it to a close for this portion. Thank you very much.